So I recently moved from Canada to Sweden, and in Canada, Michael's was my go-to place for strings. They had the loops and threads, embroidery thread that came in these big packs of like 250 skeins, and it came for a really good price, and the quality was really nice too. I tried to find an equivalent store to Michael's in Sweden, but I haven't found anything quite as big with as much variety in products, especially for the embroidery floss section. The only one that I actually found was the Panduro, and for their embroidery floss, they had DMC, so you'd have to go and pick out each color and each skein. And while DMC has really good quality, I love their quality, they're so much more pricey. So I took my search online and I stumbled on Hobbii and decided to get some strings from there and try them out. So I found these cotton yarns that were 50% off for a Black Friday deal that was going on. So I decided to get a few different colors to try. I mean, it even says friendship on the label, so it's perfect for friendship bracelets, right? And they also had a couple different sizes of this kind of cotton yarn. They had the 8/6, meaning there are 6 strands of cotton twisted in the yarn string, and that's the size that I decided to go for. And there's also 8/8, which probably is a little bit of a thicker string, as well as 8/4. I also got some crochet cotton strings. I love this as background strings for alpha bracelets, so I was going to get some anyways for my alpha, but I'm also excited to try this out in a normal pattern. I always say you can use any cotton-based strings to knot. So today I'll be putting that to the test by knotting this exact same pattern with both the cotton yarn and the crochet thread that I got. Honestly, I expected the yarn to be a little bit thinner than what I got. I bought a pack of cotton yarn from Dollarama back when I was in Canada, and I was kind of expecting the same size. But I'm not upset at the thickness that I got. I loved the way that it knotted. Look at how you can see each and every knot so clearly. It made knotting so much easier. Because it's thick, the bracelet also comes out looking thicker, and because of that, you don't need to knot as much to get the desired length that you want. So it makes knotting easier in that aspect as well. It doesn't take as long of a time to get the product that you want. I think this kind of string will be perfect for recreating another macrame like I did in my last video. My last macrame was very thin and a little bit flimsy because I was using embroidery floss to make it. And you could barely see the details of the square knots in the borders because of the softness of the string that I was using. But I think if I used this string instead, it would come out looking much more fuller and detailed and will take up a lot more space as well. So I think it would be perfect for trying to attempt to make a macrame again. Also, you ever make a big alpha, like I'm talking 50 knots by 100 rows kind of alpha, thinking it's gonna be this gorgeous huge wall hanging, and you put in so much time into it and you knot it only for it in the end to fit in the palm of your hands? Yeah, I've been there. And I think this string would be great to actualize my dreams of making an actually big wall hanging alpha without needing to do like 1,000 knots by 1,000 rows. And here I am knotting with the crochet thread. Look at how delicate the knots are turning out. I have to admit, because it was much thinner than what I'm usually used to, it was more difficult to see the knots, which did make me do some mistakes in the beginning of the pattern until I kind of got used to it. I was surprised with how soft the string felt when I was knotting through with it. You know, I was expecting it to be a little bit difficult or maybe not as comfortable with knotting because it's so thin. I thought that it would dig into my hands more when I'm pulling tight to tighten my knots and position them correctly. But it actually felt quite silky and smooth in my hands, so that was really pleasant and surprising. And here are the final bracelets. I absolutely love how you can see each and every knot so clearly with the cotton yarn bracelet. and the crochet thread bracelet turned out so delicate and cute. Of course, there is a size difference between the 3 different bracelets when you put them next to each other. Will I use these kinds of strings as my new go-to for normal patterns? Honestly, probably not. I do like the way that they turned out, and I will totally consider using them for interesting projects. I've always wanted to do big projects like a purse or maybe a pouch, and the cotton yarn, I think it will be perfect for making a nice and big project of that size. And I also find myself sometimes wanting my bracelets to come out more delicate looking and thin and small. And in that case, I think the crochet thread will do a much better job than my regular embroidery floss. I would have to get more colors though. Each yarn ball will probably last me a really long time because it has a lot more than the 8 meters that you get in your embroidery floss. But the upfront cost of buying each separate color will be higher than what I'm usually used to when I get my embroidery thread packs. In the end, it is all about preference and what you have available. What do you think about these different strings knotted? And which bracelet turned out to be your favorite? I would love to know your opinion in the comments. And thank you for watching.